Good morning. It's early morning here in Galloway, touch of rain, so I'm heading off this morning just to do a recce, not to do any wildlife photography, just to have a look for a dipper site. Now, dippers have nested in this location round about this small waterfall here since I was a kid, and each year they're almost nearly in the same place. It does move about a bit. It's never been predated that I've been aware of. The only downfall this one has got is the sudden rainfall that we can get here in Galloway at this time of the year. So it's been dry lately, so if it decides that it's went and nested very low down, it may get washed out if we get a big flood. But hopefully it'll have enough time and it'll move up and re-nest again. But as a wildlife photographer, I never go without a camera. So today I'll probably take a couple of shots of the waterfall itself. I've got 1 or 2 talks to do this year, so I could do with one of the waterfall, especially if it's not got a lot of water in it, just to show that. So I'll stop off there and show you the setup that I use for that. But just before we go, I'll show you what kit I've got for today. Because I'm travelling light, I've only got a small rucksack with me today and a nice lightweight tripod that's strapped to the side here. This particular camera bag is made by a company called Wildlife Concept. Certainly given one of the other big brands that's well known to most of you, a run for their money. This is an excellent piece of kit which I'll show you inside in a minute. Also, it's a fairly good tripod this. I've done a review on it before. This one is the Wildlife Concept and it's the KFTM2534T. Again, quite lightweight but sturdy enough that it does the job fine, and of course it straps to the side of the camera bag like that, and it's ideal for this sort of work. Not something you'd maybe put your big 500mm lens on, but for most other things up to 300 it's great. Most camera bags are fairly similar in the way that I've got this side pocket here which I've got notebook etc in. That's quite straightforward. It also opens up, and inside there again I've got the rain cover that would come out of that, open up. If you're into your music, you can clip your phone in or your music system and it just drops into there. It will of course take an iPad or something like that inside. I've just got 1 or 2 odds and ends that are tucked away in there at the side, you know, blower, brush etc, things like that, pen, but that zips up. It's got a pouch on the side there for a bottle of water or whatever else you might to take, and also on the side you can see where the tripod is strapped. Again, it's got another mesh pocket on that side. But this is a back loader, so turn it over to access it inside. You've also got these waist straps which are actually detachable. If you don't like these, you can actually clip these there and there and take that right off completely. But again, it opens up from the back like this. So you open it up, again you've got a nice big pouch in there if you want to put stuff in there. I say I'm travelling quite light today, so I've not got everything else that I would normally carry with me. It's got a mesh guard to stop things maybe moving from there. Unzip that. I've just got another body. I've got a flash in here. I've got an extra woolly hat, and I've just got 1 or 2 filters. But there's plenty of room for extra lenses. That takes easy a Pro body and a 70-200. I've actually got a Sigma 100-300 which fits in there attached to a body as well. And there's numerous padding that you can move about just to suit your needs inside that bag. But we'll zip this up, and this is a bit of a long walk into this site, so I'll head off and get to that location. I've actually located a dipper nest. It's in a similar place to last year, just on the side, just up above the waterfall, but it's on the side, just to the left here. She appears to be feeding young, which appear to be very large, so she must have been really early nesting this year. But I'm just going to quickly get a landscape shot of the waterfall just before I leave. Again, we've got the tripod here, a must for any sort of long exposure that we're going to use, and this light one from K&F concept just does the job fine. Means that I can walk quite a long way in a day, cover a lot of ground. It just unscrews like this with the legs. And there you have it. It's got a spirit level on the top, so that allows me to level this off before I even start. What I'll do now is, as I say, this is one you access from the back. I'll just take this off. Open her up. So yeah, so I've got all my filters and that in here that I need to screw on. I think it would go on the front there, but there's no need for any of this extra filtering today, so what I'll just do is leave them there. I've also got a circular polarizer, and I've also got a 10-stop neutral density there. I'm just going to put it on this body which I brought today, which is actually a D300S. It's got a 17 to 55 on it, which is roughly the equivalent of a 28 to 70 to lens. Nice sharp lens this. So what we'll do is we'll fit this on the tripod, frame it up, and get a couple of shots. First thing I've got to do is put on the quick release plate from the tripod, so that just allows me to screw that on there. And that just allows me to take that on and off quickly on the tripod. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm obviously going to face the camera slightly towards you so that you can see it. But again, it just clips in like that. It's got a thumb screw under here. Just tighten it up, and we're pretty much good to go. One release here to allow me to turn the ball head, and another on the side here just to allow me to turn it around like that itself. So we've got it, and then we use the big one at the back here which will release it. I'll just let you see it. It's got a good lens hood on it, so that's going to keep any, it's a wee bit rain just now, so that'll keep any spits and spots off. For here, because I'm going to do a really long exposure, I'm dropping the ISO down to, on this camera it goes down to 200, so I'm going to take this one at 200 and probably shoot it somewhere in the region of about f16. So to do that, take the lens cap off, of course. We have an exposure reading there of about a second, so to touch that with my hand and fire it, so there's going to be a bit of movement, so that wouldn't do. I've not brought my cable release today. Switching things about in camera bags, you always forget something, but not to be done. You just put the camera onto self timer, which is there, and again just frame it up. One thing you've got to watch is that as I take my head away from that camera, there's stray light coming in here. That's going to alter the meter reading slightly, so when I first fire it to put the self timer on, my eye will be covering that. That locks the exposure in, then it's safe to take your head away. So that's it locked. You can hear it beeping away, and then it gets faster. There you go, it's about a second and a half exposure. You'll notice that the image does not immediately appear on the back of my screen. That's one of the quickest ways of reducing the power in your battery, is for every image that you take, that it instantly displays it on the screen. I will always press the button to bring that up, and there I've got a landscape shot for that. It's quite nice even light today, so as I say, I didn't need to put any filter in. I've no bright light coming down from the top where I'd put in maybe a graduated filter of some description using the filter holders and that I had there. But as I say, this is just a recce today for these dippers, which hopefully I'll put the hide up now, come back tomorrow, move it in a wee bit closer, and then within 2, maybe 3 days it'll be close enough to do some photography. And again, I'll bring a colleague who will walk me into the hide so that the birds see somebody walking away and are not put off by my presence at all. And it's similar when I go to come out. Great now with mobile phones, I can just phone him, he'll tell me when he's coming back, and he'll walk in, let me out, and that's it. So hopefully you got something maybe out of that wee tutorial. But again, it was as much looking at the kit as it was what I was doing with the camera, and the fact that your life as a wildlife photographer is not spent running about every day with a big lens photographing birds or animals. A lot of it is spent like this, just out in the field for the day, checking out locations, checking out for subjects that what sort of time of day they're coming out. I use trail cameras as well quite a bit, so I can set them out and check them. They always give you a time and date on them as well, which is handy. Saves me spending a lot of hours in locations where I don't need to be. So until next time, thank you.